Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amirul Haziq bin Suhaidi, and today I would like to present my assignment 1 for subject DTT3023 Ethics and Profession. Topic 1: Computer Crime and Security. Title: Cyber Terrorism. So, what did you know about cyber terrorism? Cyber terrorism, also known as digital terrorism, is defined as disruptive attack by recognized terrorist organizations against computer system with the intent of generating alarm, panic, or the physical disruption of the information system. While we become used to hearing about cyber attack, cyber terrorism insists a different type of worry. Computer hackers have long worked to gain access to classified information for financial gain, meaning terrorists could do the same. The internet can be used by terrorists to finance their operations, train other terrorists, and plan terror attack. The more mainstream idea of cyber terrorism is the hacking of government or private servers to access sensitive information or even siphon funds for use in terror activities. However, there is currently no universal accepted definition of cyber terrorism. I will give you several examples of cyber terrorism. The first one is introductions of viruses to vulnerable data network. Second is hacking of servers to disrupt communication and steal sensitive information. The third one is defacing website and making the inaccessible to the public territory, causing inconvenience in financial losers. The fourth one is hacking communication platform to intercept or stop communication and make terror threat using the internet. Attack on financial instructions to transfer money and cause terror. There's many of type of cyber attacks, but I will give you an example of 4. The first one is cyber hate. The second one is cyber extortion. Third one is cyber vandalism, and the last one is cyber harassment. Cyber hate is a hate speech found online. Hate speech is intentional or unintentional public discrimination of defamatory statement, intentional incitement to hatred or violence or segregation based on a person or a group, real or perceived race, ethnicity, language, nationality, skin color, or religious belief. Cyber exploitation is a nefarious cybercrime where threat actors exploit security vulnerability to breach the digital security system and gain unauthorized access to valuable assets. These assets range from confidential data and intellectual property to financial currency and critically infrastructure system. Cyber vandalism, it is a type of cybercrime where the sole purpose is to cause damage or disruptions. With no mandatory gain as the end goal, the effect of cyber vandalism can be significant and long-lasting. And the last one is the cyber harassment. Cyber harassment usually pertains to inconsistent conduct such as threatening or harassing email, instant message, or to block entries or website dedicated to solely to tormenting an individual. Topic 2: Intellectual Property. Okay, for topic 2, from the question given, I assume the role as the individual software developer, there are few things that you need to do as an individual software developer. If you want your company brand to be used in Malaysia, you can try to register your brand or company name, whether it is an individual, shared company or organizations. Step 1. You need to prepare a few documents register company brand as a software company. Company logo, identity card copy, mailing address, email address, and your company product summary need to use. And step 2, you need to prepare the registration process for My IPO trademark. there are two levels of registrations. For level 1, choose a logo and brand you want to register. This is due to prevent any sum of copyright with any company logos and brand that has already registered. In this way, we can prevent our registration from get rejected. The searching result will be released after 2 or 3 days afterward. This process is not compulsory to do. You also can do your own search at the My IPO website. For level 2, make a registration by submitting your registration from My IPO. The registration process and getting a copy of registration validation will take 1 or 2 days at work. The approval and certification will be released by the My IPO after 8 or 12 months. The approval process can also be shortened to 4 until 6 months, but an extra payment will be charged. The payment rate for My IPO brand trademark is like level 1, searchings and finding and your company brand is 200 ringgit. Level 2, registration will be cost you 1,590 ringgit. Ways and step to register your My IPO brand trademark is like go to your nearest My IPO office or make an appointment with registered agents. You can also register online at the IP online search and filling. Topic 3, privacy and surveillance. For topic 3, privacy and surveillance, you must know what is surveillance. Surveillance is an act of watching and inspecting something by big or small organization such as a polite army and a person to get accurate detail and information. Second, what is type of surveillance? There are 6 types of surveillance which are covered: surveillance, overt surveillance, electronic surveillance, technical surveillance, cyber surveillance, and human surveillance. Covert surveillance. Covert surveillance is a way of using a technique to watch and monitor the subject secretly without their knowing. Second one is the overt surveillance. Overt surveillance is a surveillance that uses devices which are visible at the public, such as closed-circuit television that we call CCTV. Third one is the electronic and technical surveillance. Electronic and technical surveillance are types of surveillance that use electronic device as a surveillance method that consists of recording and listening device. The fourth one is the cyber surveillance. Cyber surveillance is a type of surveillance to monitor computer activity and data and a big thing transfer the internet and network. The last one is the human surveillance. Human surveillance is a type of surveillance to investigate and spy someone, whether the individual or group, without their knowledge. What are examples of surveillance? For covert surveillance, the example for this type of surveillance are the satellites or GPS. GPS tracking, video surveillance, photograph, stick-up, and computer or telephone monitoring. As for electronic and electrical surveillance, the example of this type of surveillance are wiretapping, bugging, videotapping, data mining, and social media mapping. For the third one is for cyber surveillance. Data and information monitoring through the computer is one of the example of this type of surveillance. Last but not least, the example of human surveillance are spying and investigations and individual or even organizations. Can you monitor your employee computer activity? Give an example of how do they do that. As a computer company, we can monitoring our employee computer activities to avoid any problem that related to organization work progress. When the employee know that their computer activity are being monitored, they will try to avoid any excessive usage of internet and computer software. Besides that, we need to do computer activity monitoring to curb any access to an inappropriate website and illegal activity. This method can be done by using Browse Reporter, which is current warehouse computer solution. In this method, we are going to use an agent or applicable that need to be installed inside the employee computer. Software will be streamed to your server, where you can run reports and view their activity. As a company, we need to choose a default browser based on your company policy. Next, we need to choose a time or period we want to look at from the report produced. Does the government spy on its citizens or foe? Holy. Does the government spy on its citizens? Give an example of how they do that. Okay, the government did spy on its citizens. This is due to the information and data needed to be used in the government information system. One of the examples of how they do that is through the mass surveillance in Malaysia back at July 2018. The Malaysian police announced about an internet security or police to be equipped in the internet through the real-time mass surveillance software to monitor all Malaysian internet usage with a focus on pornography and child pornography. How is surveillance ethic issue? Ethical concerns arise when surveillance fall into the wrong hand, risking the theft of citizen data and information stored within information system by irresponsible individual. How is surveillance an ethical issue? Ethical issue. Ethical issue. How is surveillance an ethical issue? Ethical concern arise when surveillance falls into the wrong hand, risking the theft of citizen data and information stored within information system by irresponsible individual. The potential danger lies in the event of data breach, where all our private information including personal data, bank account and more could be exposed to cheats, posing a significant risk to our security and privacy. What step can you take to block or prevent from public government surveillance? As a social media user, we can mitigate public or government surveillance by setting our account to private, employing unique password for each website registration, and enhance our security measures. Topic 4. Computer reliability. Computer reliability. Reliability in computer system is important. Reliability is crucial for computer system because it ensures that the system operates correctly and consistently over time, which in turn ensure that the system meets the needs of its user. Here are some reasons why reliability is important. The first one is consistency. A reliable computer system will perform consistently over time, which means that user can depend on it to perform as expected. This is important for business operation, where a failure in the system could result in significant financial losses. Reduce downtime. A reliable computer system is less likely to experience downtime due to crashes, bugs or other issues. This means that users can rely on the system being available when they need it, which help to improve productivity. Improve user experience. A reliable computer system provides a positive user experience by working consistently and without interruptions. This helps to build user to trust and confidence in the system. Lower maintenance costs. For lower maintenance costs, a reliable computer system requires less maintenance and repair, which help to lower the cost associated with maintaining the system over the time. Security. A reliable computer system is more likely to be secure as it will be less prone to vulnerability and exploit that could be used by attackers to gain unauthorized access to the system or its data. In summary, reliability is important in computer system because it ensures consistent performance, reduce downtime, improve the user experience, lower maintenance costs, and help to enhance the security. For this topic 4, find a case study or example that resulted of computer is not reliable. You can source it from internet article or website. What I found is one of the examples that resulted in this computer is not reliable is hardware malfunction. Why? Because the type of issue can happen when some of your computer hardware part inside the computer is not working properly. For example, a hard disk is of the important parts inside a computer, where there are a lot of data and files stored inside the hard disk. the time to load your computer will get longer. This is due to the heaviness of file, then the lower the smoothness while trying to access the file. Now, the difference of hardware, software, and data reliability. There are three types of computer reliability, which are hardware reliability, software reliability, and data reliability. For hardware reliability is the ability of the computer hardware to perform its function for a certain period of time without any failure or error. For software reliability, software is when the software or any program that installed inside the computer is working properly as intended. And for the data reliability is when the data is complete and accurate. Data reliability can be divided into 4 parts, which are data security, data privacy, data consistency, and data integrity. For data security, the data must be kept safe from any harm and protected in physical and digital ways. For data privacy, the data can only be accessed by certain person only. Only them can view and edit the data while others cannot. Data consistency, the data that is being processed during input, process, and output is correct. For the IPO is correct, then the data consistency is well known. Data integrity, the accuracy of data between the digital and real world are correspondent with each other. There are two types of responsibility that is related to computer reliability, which are computer professional and the individual that use the computer system. For computer professional, the one who specialize in computer, whether it is hardware or software of a computer. The second one is the individual that use the computer system. The computer system is used by a certain individual. This party is consists of consumer of a user, like a computer professional, for example, is engineers, programmers, developer, and many more. Topic 5. Professional ethics. For the last topics is the professional ethics. You must know what is mean by professions. Profession is an expertise or specialty of a certain types of work or field in which they apply it. The second one is what is computer profession. Computer profession is an expert who specializes in using a computer. The third one is what is professional ethics. Professional ethics is a principle that needs to be followed by a certain organization based on their work or field. Based on computer professional system, the professional ethics is in the field related with the ethics in computer professionals. This is applied and responsibility in moral issue. Professional ethics are consist of relationship, manner, and responsibilities toward customer, client, employees, co-workers, etc. who use your product or service. What is a professional code of ethics? Professional code of ethics is a rule or principles that is needed to help their organizations to be a good company to minimize any error or any problems. Every types of work or field have their own professional code of ethics that need to be followed. 8 principles identify morally responsibility to relationship. There are 8 principles in identify morally responsible relationship, which are publicly, cliently, and employer, product, judgment, management, profession, colleges, and self. To be a software engineer, especially as a software developer for Mazdastra mobile application, there are 8 principles that you need to apply and expertise. For the principle 1 is public. For the principle 2 is client and employer. For the principle 3 is product. For the principle 4 is judgment. Okay, I will give you the meaning of the principle 1. What do you mean by public? As a software engineer for MySejahtera mobile application, they need to act accordingly with the public interest. They need to be responsible workers. Every work or task given, they need to do their responsibilities well. As a software engineer, they need to develop a user-friendly application which are safe for user to use it, meet the criteria and specification as a healthy software, and did not harm the user privacy and the environment. For instance, all the data and information of a MySejahtera mobile application user, such as identity, card number, address and etc. will be kept safely from any data leak that will cause harm in their data privacy. When there are any harm or problem they face during the software development process, software engineers should hold the principle of public by only disclosing any harm and danger that affect the user, public and environment. To appropriate person, they can discuss on what are the better way to manage the problem than the software produced. For the principle 2, there is a client and employer. As a software engineer, they need to act based on the client and employer interests. As a software engineer, need to be honest in their work or service and know their own limitation in their expense. They must provide the best service based on their field to build a good relationship for both their client and employer. They also need to get the consent and authorized when using the client and employer property. Besides that, they also need to get consent of any document by someone authorized. For principle 3 is about the product. As a software engineer, they need to make sure the product meet the highest standard as a high quality, acceptable, and reasonable schedule product. All the data standards need to be considered from the client and employer interests. They also need to set the objective or goal of application or project that they are working at. For example, the objective of the project and product has been proposed can be achieved when the product is finished. The purpose of MySejahtera application is to record to the user data and information and also provide their health risk based on their location they at. For the principle 4, we have the judgment. As a software engineer, they need to have their own judgment and maintain their own integrity to judge a good product during the software development process. They need to be disciplined in developing a software by only referring to a document that is under supervision or within their own limit in which they are in agreement. They also need a honest worker in which they are not involved in bribery or any other illegal activity that will affect the company reputation. Every decision that they need to make and choose must be considered well to prevent any conflict between all parties from happening. So, I already covered all the subtopic from topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4, and topic 5. So, I hope you guys understanding, and I hope this can help you for summarize. Thank you and see you soon.